Hi there. My name is Adam Botterill. I'm the head in-house counsel at Waterstone Insolvency and Tempest Litigation Funding. I want to do a quick video today about a topic that's quite important to me, and that's confrontation. I'm going to be doing a short series of videos on things that I find engaging, interesting, part of my experience. I don't profess to be an expert in any of these areas at all, but I thought it would be useful to share some of what I've gone through and also seek people's engagement and feedback, and if you've experienced similar things. So today's topic is on confrontation, and it's something that is really important in the business world to know how to deal with it. I'm no expert in physical confrontation and fighting, can't give you any tips or tricks on that, but when it comes to confrontation in the workplace, it can come in many forms, and I want to talk to you about how I approach confrontation and how I think that the ways in which I deal with it can lead to better outcomes. Just a brief background on me. I'm a lawyer with Waterstone. I've been here for about 4 years. Insolvency and restructuring is what we do here, and it's a really stressful industry to be in. It can be pretty thankless at times, and it's rough because we're dealing with people from day one that have gone through a very stressful circumstance in their life. So they may have either found out they have no job, or they've lost money if they're a creditor, or it's the directors and shareholders that have essentially perhaps lost their business and livelihood. So from day one, it's stressful, and confrontation can arise where people are unhappy. Especially with us, we're not the ones that have caused the situation, but we come in and we have to try and pick up the pieces. So we're exposed on a regular basis to people that are unhappy. And so not just the companies themselves and the staff and stakeholders, but if I'm in a dispute trying to collect money, make recoveries or take legal claims against directors, often then the other side gets lawyers on their side of the table, and we can be in conflict about things that we say should or shouldn't have happened and remedies that we're claiming. So there's a few different ways in which conflict can arise, and I don't mean an argument, because an argument and a responsible and reasonable argument is normal and fine, and that happens in court. You see lawyers arguing with the judge as the referee. But when I mean confrontation, I mean when your heart races and when you kind of get that adrenaline rush and you start to think, fight or flight, what do I do? It can come about in a few ways. So day to day, you always get keyboard warriors. You get people that send you an aggressive email, and instantly, you tense up and you think, what am I going to do? I need to show them, I need to respond. But in this situation, if someone's trying to engage aggressively on email, sometimes what I can do is I can take a minute, take a day even to reply, let it all sort of calm down and sink in, and then when you approach that email again, you can take the emotion out of it and you can respond in a reasonable and clinical way. And I feel like that in doing so, you can get to a better outcome. Often and I fall into this trap sometimes myself, if I respond to an email too quickly in the heat of the moment, I can come across a little bit more unreasonable, a little bit more aggressive, and sometimes that doesn't help. So taking some time to pause and actually think about what you're saying and how you're saying it, and also thinking about the other party in there and how they're going to perceive it. So that's something for those keyboard warriors out there. Sometimes it's good to take a pause. Now, confrontations can happen on the phone. People can be upset, angry, and they want their view to be heard. I call these the interrupters. Often people will not let me speak or offer my opinion. They will interrupt and they will badger, and they'll sort of make sure that they're heard. How I deal with the situation normally is I let them talk. There's nothing wrong with that. Often if people talk, they just almost talk themselves down. So the more steam that they can let off, the better, and then we can re-pick it up. But again, I'm still firm with this kind of situation. I'm not going to concede and fall into line with what they want, but giving them the time to talk and essentially remove that emotion out of the situation a little bit. Sometimes it's also better to actually reschedule it if it's going nowhere. So if nothing's going right, and you're on the phone, you can always reschedule and something's come up. So trying to essentially put another pause on that, but also listening to what they have to say. Now, the third one is in-your-face, in-person confrontation. it's really challenging to deal with that, especially say a liquidator going into a company and you're having to deal with staff and customers and the owners of the business. It can get quite heated. In these situations, if it's an in-your-face confrontation and people are upset, often a way that you can manage that is by giving them something to do or by redirecting the conversation into other things. So I know when we go in and we have a live liquidation, we'll take forms and we'll take information and we'll be able to explain to people what's happening, but giving them something to do is critical because it refocuses their mind. For that second, they're not worrying about their job so much, but they're thinking, okay, I've got to help the liquidator do this. I've got to fill in this form. I've got to be in touch with them to actually follow up on the next steps. So essentially, taking it from that sheer moment of panic, giving somebody something to do really helps to essentially diffuse that in your face in-person confrontation. And so these are some of the things that I've experienced, and I hope are of some interest and help to you. This is just a conversation starter. So again, if you've had similar experiences or you have other ways that you deal with confrontation, comment below, get in touch. Would love to hear other people's viewpoints. This is only my own, and it's something that I really think is useful in a business setting to be able to deal with. So again, thanks for watching.